It says in Luke 14 and verse 16 to 17, a certain man was preparing a great banquet and invited many guests. At the time of the banquet, he sent his servant to tell those who have been invited, come, for everything is now ready. So as Jesus said, my Father sent me, now I send you. The master in this text is sending us to go and bring in those that the Father wants to attend the party. I just came home from about a year ago. I came home from America, and my son-in-law is heading up these, they call them WAVE. It's young people from each church in Copenhagen across denominations. So this is just a big gathering of young people, and he asked me to come and share. And we had an amazing meeting, and the young people really responded to the call of God. And then after the meeting, I was jet lagged, I was tired, I was standing outside ready to go home. I was waiting for my wife to come and pick me up. How many have been waiting on their wives? So don't wave, just lock eyes with me. We know what it's like to wait. So I'm waiting for my wife, and this guy comes walking down the streets. He falls, he hits his head, he starts to bleed, and he starts to cry. This is not just a cry for, like he hurt himself. This was like anguish. This was like deep emotional turmoil. And then there was a doctor, there was a firefighter, there was a social worker, all young people from different churches, and they went over to help this guy. And I was standing waiting for my wife and just overhearing them. The doctor checked, is everything okay? The social worker was like, oh, there is this social club or this social ministry, but they're closed right now, so how can we help this guy, and da-da-da-da. And I'm just standing waiting, getting more and more ticked off. Can I say ticked off? Is that appropriate? I get upset because I'm like, this guy obviously has some issues. And when is one of these three young people that were just attending a great meeting, all of them experiencing Jesus, when are they going to tell this guy about Jesus? So in the end, I picked one of our young guys who came for prayer that night. He wanted to be challenged more in his faith. So I said, hey, come with me over and talk with this guy. So I went over there, and in 2 minutes, I led him to the Lord. In 2 minutes, I just shared my own journey. In 2 minutes, I shared my own journey. I shared how Jesus has transformed and changed my life, how I was bound up by fear and depression, and how Jesus, he set me free. And in 2 minutes, we prayed a salvation prayer, and he went from crying in anguish to laughing like he was really, really drunk, or like really out of his mind. Like he went from super sad to super happy. He had an encounter with Jesus. And the young guy from our church, he walked him home, and we got him connected with the church that was right there next to where he lived. And I love telling people Jesus, because Jesus changed my life. And I know that he can do that for every person that I meet. So how are you responding to the God's invitation in your life? And are you ready to serve? Are you ready to become a bringer? Are you ready to be one of those who can change the eternity of? But we have to set aside excuses. I'm an introvert. That's my biggest excuse for not sharing Christ with others, because I don't really like to talk with people I don't know. It's anxiety filling to talk with people. I can't believe I'm speaking to all you today. But this is family. I feel like home, so it's okay. But I cannot use this as an excuse for not sharing Jesus with others. Like when we walk the dog, my wife and I, she will get into conversation with people all the time. And sometimes I'm allowed to go home just to like go into my cave and just like be myself. But it really helps to bring somebody, to not go alone. That's why Jesus sent them out one by one. 2 people walk together. Find a friend. Go together. Have somebody that can help you to be a witness for Jesus. And it says in the text, they all alike began making excuses. The first said, I just bought a field, I must go to see it. Please excuse me. Another said, I've just bought 5 yoke of oxen and I'm on my way to try them out. Please excuse me. Still another said, I just got married. These were all bad excuses for misplaced priority. Who in the world would buy a house without seeing it? Who would buy a field without seeing it? Like nobody. This is just like, brain, please come with an excuse. Brain, please come with an excuse. Oh, I bought a new car. I have to go and check it out. You bought a car without watching it first or like seeing it? Like, are you stupid or what? Like this was just bad excuse. Oh, you got married. Bring your wife. She's invited too. Just misplaced priorities. Other things had more value to these people. Can I challenge us today that if the priority of heaven is focused on the one that is lost, can that be our priority? If Jesus is not Lord of all, he's not Lord at all. Can we make the priority, the last words of Jesus, our first priority? Can we be a church that will go to the streets, to the neighborhoods that we live in, and to share Jesus with someone? So what are your excuses to not share Jesus with others? We have to stop. We have to set aside excuses and we have to follow Jesus. How can Jesus help you overcome your excuses and let his last words be your first priority?